set pieces. They're scoring more goals than Arsenal from set pieces, and it's kind of going a bit unnoticed. I mean, when you've got a player of Bruno Fernandes's quality, I mean, that's always going to come, isn't it?
Yeah, going to say that his quality and set pieces. You got someone like him in the side is fantastic. And Miss was saying, well, I can't remember what you were saying.
No, about anyway. Bruno Fernandes is set plays. The one with the Casemiro.
Yeah,
it's just a brilliant free kick. Do you know what I mean? One, it's hard to pick up, and two, it's a cross that you can score from. It's not one of them second phase.
Saying about a centre forward though, he's managed to get as many as he has without a centre forward, a typical centre forward. So there's no chance of saying that he can't do that with the next ones.
Genuinely, changing young people's lives. Like I said, some of the case studies are heartbreaking that you come across, but some of the success stories from that, it's amazing, and you guys are creating that.
We chose number 27, and that's basically why we're here, to do it for Lewis.
He would be absolutely, he'd be so excited to be here now.
Is that not the vibe? It's going to be wet in like...
I thought the boys got the balance right. You can see that they're playing with confidence, and the expression side of the game is certainly there. And we need to keep that. There's things we can work on and keep improving. We've been together 3-4 weeks, so we want to keep striving for more. But it's great. The excitement part of the game, and goal mouth action is what we love.
Can I ask you about your goal? Off the shin, but I reckon you meant it.
Yeah, because I think that if you go with your feet, the probability of the ball going very, very high is big, because it's bouncing in front of you. Some people will say that it was not meant it, but it was actually meant it, because I knew the ball then would have gone straight into the floor, and Vicario there has to move with the ball, so I just tried to go across him to make him not able to jump and get the ball there, and he almost got it.
The red card is the big incident. After this week of all weeks, it's the last thing you needed, your captain needed, the club needed. Do you have an issue to solve with him now?
I just think it's the perfect storm. Of course it was today. It should happen. It is what it is. I think it's clear that the situation is. You have now seen it through 5 times just to be absolutely clear. It's clearly tried to tackle the ball just left, and then it's a follow through, and then unfortunately it's a red card.
Well, since Thomas Frank mentions it, let's talk about the red card before we get on to Manchester United's performance and series of performances. Christian Romero, and we heard Guy mention it there to Thomas Frank, posted after the game last week where he had to come up at half-time ill, that it was disgraceful that Spurs only had 11 fit players to select from. Now they have one fewer for the next 4 matches because he got himself sent off. Correctly, in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Oliver gets it absolutely right. You can't tackle like that in today's game. And he's got to show better leadership, and he's said what he's said in whatever post he's done on Instagram or whatever it was on. But leaders are the ones who perform for the team and makes other players around them better. And now he's going to be missing for 4 games, and Tottenham just do not need that. But absolutely, it was a red card. Danny?
Yeah, Thomas Frank can't be blamed for this today. He's to blame. They were in the game when he was on the pitch, and he's gone off it and give the team a mountain to climb. And I'm sure 1 or 2 of the lads at half-time went in and said the piece. Well, I hope they did anyway, because it makes life really difficult.
And as the captain, this record of most red cards in the Premier League since he's made his debut in August 2021, how concerning is that? How worried should Tottenham be about that?
Very concerned.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it. He's going to have 4 games because it's his 2nd red card this season. So,
and he could have had 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
From Manchester United's point of view, it's another win under Michael Carrick. Nothing changes, except maybe it did a little bit, Danny.
Well, you'd have been forgiven for thinking he'd just put the same team out, same formation, and he didn't. He made a great little tweak, and it worked perfectly. 11v11, United were opening Spurs up and making chances. He's arguably the best number 10 in Europe.
Brilliant.
And because of that, these stats that Michael Carrick is putting on the board don't look like a flash in the pan. Do they look sustainable?
I mean, it'll be hard to keep going with these numbers. These are phenomenal numbers. He'll be much happier seeing those after 10 games, let's say. But he can't have asked for a better start. They're playing good football. The fans are on board. The players look confident and enjoying themselves. Not fun, is it?
It is if you're a Manchester United fan. Now, having gone
wrong, has he? Yes, they played against 10 men for a lot of today, but they also played against 10-man Everton after the 13th minute and still lost that game. Would you give him the job this afternoon, tomorrow, Joe?
Oh, God, that's nothing to do with me. Like I say, I know where my loyalties lie in this city, but from working with Michael Carrick, really enjoyed him as a person, enjoy him as a player, and he's doing a good job. He interviews really well. He's calm. He's not getting carried away. I think it's a time to not get carried away. I think you've got to realise that it's been a really difficult couple of years at Manchester United. So winning 4 on the spin is great, but you've got foundations to rebuild if you really want to go again.
Do you think, though, they need to give him the job because it's a different kind of pressure if it's his job permanently, so they can really see what he's like, than it is if you're just the interim man in charge?
I think they decide that in the summer. I think if you look at it now, fourth, let's be honest, they could finish second. They're only 3 points off second, and they got West Ham, Everton, Crystal Palace next. Let's be honest.
Only 10 behind Arsenal now.
Exactly.
There's some ground they've made up.
If he finishes second, you can't not give it to him. It'd be impossible. You'd have to give it to him. I don't see how you could bring anybody else in. Imagine you bring in somebody else and they start slowly. Everybody be annoyed. So I think if he keeps winning games, he'll probably get it. But again, Michael is so level-headed. You just want to chip away, get in a good position. You see now 4th on league table. Like you said, 10 points behind Arsenal. You know how hard that is to believe after sacking the manager? And we're saying how great this Arsenal team is, and they are. But Man United are in a brilliant position. And I think if he keeps winning games, it's going to be near on impossible not to give it to him.
It's easy to say from the outside, sort of looking in. A lot of what he's done feels like common sense with this team, Joe. But what has he done differently beyond the obvious?
I think he's just understood his players and understood what the best way to get the best out of them. No doubt him having the DNA at the club will help him. The understanding, the people that he's able to talk to above his head, the team that he's got around him. You know, people, head coaches will always tell you it's important that you bring around you. Even that relationship with Johnny Evans, having the trust of having someone that he's worked with. Steve Holland in there, Woodgate. Look, at the moment, like I say, it's working really well. But as Michael, he interviewed brilliantly, he is not going to get carried away. You can't get carried away. You've got to stay super calm, live in the moment. And all that matters right now is West Ham for Manchester United.
As an ex-player, what does that DNA that Joe mentioned mean to you? And are you seeing it, do you think, with the football they're playing under Michael Carrick?
Well, people always talk about the history and that, that it's kind of getting away. I completely disagree. I think you have to embrace that. The greatest thing about this football club is the history of it, the icons that have played here. And that's why it's such a privilege to represent this football club. When I used to sit on the pitch, I used to think of those greats that played here before in midfield and used to think, they'll be watching this game. And you have to try and emulate that level. And some people are up to it and some people aren't. That's not a criticism, but it's a fact. And when you get out in the pitch, you see it. And Michael knows what it's to be one of those players. He's not going to shout and yell at somebody or put somebody down or criticize them. He's going to say, come on, trust in yourself, believe. Put people in a position. You look at Kobe. How did Kobe not play for a year? And he's got Casemiro and Bruno in and around him. That midfield three. We're talking about multiple Champions League winners with one of the best young players in the Premier League in Kobe and probably the best creator in Bruno Fernandes. And a month ago, we said that was their biggest weakness, the midfield. It's a strength. And I just think everybody's in the position where they're flourishing. And credit to Michael Carrick. You think back a month ago, everybody was playing a different position except the keeper. Now everybody's in a position where they can flourish. And that's credit to the manager. And the players are showing why they're good players, why they're here, and they're showcasing it.
A good day for you today, Owen. Guys, thank you very much for your company today, Joe. Owen, always a pleasure to have you alongside me. That's it.
Before the game, the two managers laid flowers to mark the 68th anniversary of the Munich air disaster, in which 8 Manchester United players and 3 club